Hey folks, your OS Review. So you're watching our video review of the SJCAM M10. This is a tiny cube-like sport camera that's very small, easy to carry around, but also packs quite a punch in terms of resolution and also the ability to record 1080p HD video. You can also capture 12 megapixel shots when you're out and about. Now, as a sports camera produced by SJCAM, of course, we get a pretty good quality sensor and also a device in general on board. There's a whole load of accessories inside the packaging itself, and the device itself is also waterproof by 30 meters. It's a rugged camera, so you can take it with you for sporting trips, for skiing. You can mount it to your camera for biking trips. So it's meant to withstand some of the daily activities you might want to use it for. Compared to other competitors like some GoPro products, SJCAM has one advantage, and that's going to be the price and the fact that this model has a display on the back, so you can actually view back your images and videos directly on the unit itself. One disadvantage is that this model here does not have any built-in storage, so you must purchase a 32 gigabyte or 64 gigabyte card, micro SD card, before you can start using it. Now, this particular camera here comes in a large range of colors, from red to yellow to green. There's also a silver version that I have right here. It's actually the same model. So it comes in different colors. It's pretty cute to customize it with. And of course, it faces kind of stiff competition from larger sports cameras, but this one here is a bit smaller and easy to carry around, and also is much more pocket-friendly, priced at under $100, so it's not too expensive or anything like that. Packaging is pretty professional. We have some information on the sides. There are a few applications you can use to download some apps for iOS and Android products. SJCAM is getting more and more established these days. I think they're doing a pretty good job with their current array of sports cameras in general, and so we hope that the M10 is not going to be an exception to that rule. On the back, we have some more information about the unit itself. So again, we can capture up to 12 megapixel images. You can change that to 10, 8, 5, or to 3 VGA and to 1.3 megapixels. And the video resolution here is at 30 frames per second, 1080p. I can also change it. There's also a 4 times digital zoom. It's a 170-degree HD wide-angle lens, so you get a bit of a fish angle effect just to capture more of whatever is in the shot. And you have a USB 2.0 connection. There is a micro HDMI port. The battery will last for about 90 minutes, so not the strongest battery life on here, but at least it is a replaceable one, coming in at 900 milliamp hours, and it weighs 48 grams without batteries, 64 grams with batteries. Pretty lightweight. Waterproof case is included, and a whole array of mounts and accessories are also thrown into the packaging itself. So it can also be used as a dashboard camera. It can also be used as a motion-activated home security camera, also for sports, a daily camera perhaps for recording some quick shots. The list really just goes on and on. You can purchase this directly from SJCAM's website, or you can also get it from Amazon.com. And our review unit here came in about 3 days after we ordered it, so very fast shipping from the manufacturer's part. In here we have access to the actual camera itself and also the waterproof case. You have to place the camera inside this casing if you expect it to be fully submersive for underwater usage. Over here we have some other accessories, again, just for these various mounts you might want to use for helmets, for bikes, and there's some straps you can use as well. So a ton of accessories are thrown in for free basically by the manufacturer, things that some other competing devices don't really give you out of the box. So this is a nice feature to have. There's also an instruction manual that tells you how to use the various features. It's printed in full color, which is very impressive, and it tells you how to access the functions, and also is in Chinese. On the back, there are a few stickers included for mounting purposes. There's a cleaning cloth for you to clean the screen and also for the actual display and the lens, which is nice. Finally, there's a cable here for charging, a standard micro USB cable. The camera here takes about 2 hours to fully charge, and again, it's going to last about 90 minutes of usage. There's an additional kind of included door in case the door to your device here actually breaks off. And finally, there are some stickers by SJCAM, and that's about it as far as design of the waterproof casing. We still have access to most of the controls and buttons. For example, on the top here, we have access to the power on and off switch. You have to press a bit harder, but you can actually access that feature. And there's also access to an OK key, a selection key on the side there. And finally, on the side here, you also have a OK button that you can press, but you don't have access to all the buttons when it's being placed inside the casing. For example, the scroll up and down for navigation keys, you actually can't access when being placed inside the casing itself. Again, on the back you have a smallish 1.5-inch TFT display. It's actually very, very bright. Something I really like about this particular screen is that it remains viewable even in direct sunlight. So I took it outside in the snow, I took it outside in the rain, and I could still see what was going on, whereas if I took my smartphone, the screen becomes washed out under direct sunlight. So it's a very bright screen. Viewing angles aren't the best, but at least you can see it because it's very, very bright and fairly accurate as well. So on the display here, we can see you have access to some controls, including the battery information, some looping information, minutes for the recording, and also a time and date stamp is included on the very bottom. So taking a look at the casing itself, again on the bottom we have some basic kind of docking parts, and then to take the actual camera outside of the case, we slide this bar up, and then we are able to then take kind of the cube out of its little box. The actual camera itself is crafted out of a soft touch material, so it feels rather premium in the hand. It feels nicely constructed. It's crafted again entirely out of this rubber material. We have a nice grip-like material going through the entire body of the unit, which makes it easy to grip, kind of to use one-handed kind of as a digital camera. On the left-hand side of the unit from the back, you have access to some various controls, including the mini speaker. You also have access to the micro SD card slot, the aforementioned micro HDMI port, and also a micro USB port for charging. On the bottom here, you have access to the battery, which has been pre-inserted, and on the other side, there is the up-down navigation key and a menu key, and on the very top, we have a power on and off switch, but if I tap it once, I can cycle through various functions like photography, video, and playing back my various recorded images and videos. So if I long press on it for a few seconds longer, that turns the device on and also off. Over here is a record key. I press it once to start recording or to take an image. I press it again to stop. And there's also an LED indicator on the side as well. So a very, very simple design going on here. It's very easy to use and to get used to. Fairly elegant, and overall I think it's a very cute camera. It looks fairly attractive compared to other action cameras out there on the market. One thing that I'm not a huge fan of though is the kind of detailing down below here, these dots on the bottom. I think that kind of distracts from the overall design. I would have preferred the device to just have a black finish, which makes the menu interface really pans itself out. It's really easy to navigate and to get used to. So again, by pressing on the mode key again once, I can cycle between the various functions. So pressing on it once from video takes me to the camera capturing keys, and I can now capture my images. Some of the icons are on the smaller side of the spectrum, but they still should be viewable for most users out there. Pressing it again takes it to the playback, but right now we don't have anything to play back, and then pressing it on again cycles you back into the video recording mode, and then we can cycle again. We've pressed that twice into the camera capture key. So pressing on the mode key on the side there goes through the different setup, like the resolution. You can change the HDR. There's a motion detection on board that automatically starts video when it records a motion. It's kind of neat. There's also a timestamp feature. There's the capture mode feature. You can change the quality, the sharpness, the white balance, the color saturation, ISO, exposure. There is a face detection mode for photography. There's also an anti-shaking mode you can turn on and off manually. A quick review, and also another date stamp, language, beeping sound, turning that on and off, TV mode, using the HDMI output. There's also frequency. You can rotate the screen, screensavers, changing it to a car mode as a dashboard camera, which works also pretty well, again, because it does a good job of eliminating any noise or anything with shaking, so it does a good job stabilizing the video and the images. There's also a OSD mode. You can set the license, delete different images, set it back to default, and the list really just repeats itself. So you have quite a bit of features you can go and set up, and it's actually very easy and very intuitive to actually use. To exit out the menu, we press on the menu key again, and then we can get out of there, and now we're back into the main menu. Simply power the device on or off. We're going to tap on the power key for a few seconds longer, and the product itself. To give you a quick example of how the video capturing quality really goes out in real life, here's a sample image captured in broad daylight in 1080p HD resolution. So, as the video clip showed, we found the resolution for the camera itself to be generally acceptable and actually is pretty decent in terms of performance. Of course, with the wide angle effect, you'll get a bit of a fish lens effect, so it's not going to be completely flush, just so that you get more of your field of vision. Like most sports cameras out there, it's not going to be something that features autofocus, so you'll know that most of the different contents remains in focus, but for more smaller details, if you get really up close for macro shots or really far away, some of these shots can get slightly blurry and out of focus, but in general, we found the performance to be really strong. As far as reducing the amount of vibrations if you're walking around, it does a pretty good job of stabilizing the video, which is always good. Frame rates are fast, and the microphone does a good job of playing back and recording sound. Something I will note is that the native device here does not have a built-in speaker, so if you're playing back videos, it's not going to play back the sound directly on the device itself. As far as battery life performance goes, 90 minutes is on the shorter side of the spectrum, but on the plus side, the device remains fairly cool during operation, so it doesn't really overheat or anything like that. Now, low light performance is considerably worse. It's not as good at all, and things get a lot more worrisome, but at least you can still see most subjects, and the camera does a good job of illuminating the main focus and the main subjects that you want to capture. So it does a good job in general usage, and for what it is, for under $100 pair of cameras for sports and action usage, I think it does a general good job of providing and capturing your shots to a good extent.